Tessa, so you're a renowned professor and an expert in all things well-being. But what I want to ask you today is different. What do you think is the direction of travel for HR in the next 5 years? What will drive what happens?
This is a great question. I think that we have spent a lot of time in HR on different initiatives. You know, let's fix DE&I, let's fix well-being, let's fix this thing and that thing. And people are coming out of this super exhausted and feeling like they're actually having a bit of mission creep. They don't know what their job is anymore. And what I'm actually seeing the trend is that people are going back to basics. They're realizing that all of these kind of different issues that we're struggling with in HR all fit under this umbrella of problems with interpersonal communication at work, just really low level, kind of daily level things that are adding up and stressing people out. And the people I talk to in HR, they actually just want to go back to kind of basic training on how do we have difficult conversations at work? How do we, deal with these kinds of tricky situations? And I think that's the direction that we're going to be going in the future.
And what has hybrid changed in how you approach this? Because obviously before it was in the office, the basics are quite different to where we are now.
Yeah, I think this is becoming a real issue. Their hybrid is really kind of pulling people apart in multiple directions. So the people who are working in hybrid often don't feel like they belong in the same way that people in the office feel. They are really suffering from not knowing how to talk to their boss about the invisible labor that they're doing, figuring out how to deal with free writing and things like that. So I'd say hybrid has added a different flavor to this problem of communication difficulties, but what we can do is just take some of the basic strategies that we know about in-person communication and just kind of apply it to these contexts, and then think really strategically about what's missing for the hybrid workers. And every organization is different. A lot of that is social networking is missing, knowing who to go to for help is missing, and so that's a fundamental problem we've always had at work. It just manifests differently in the hybrid environment. So if you can figure out what about your hybrid workers are missing on those kind of key components we know are critical, then I think you can solve the hybrid problem with a lot of the solutions that we already know work, from like the science of relationships and so forth.
And the last question, we're at the CHRO Summit at the beautiful Opera House. What are you most looking forward to from the day?
Honestly, the talks are great, but I like the one-on-one conversations with people, which probably isn't surprising given that I'm a scientist who studies interpersonal communication. I think bringing us back together, that richness, that connective tissue happens in informal situations. It happens during lunch or over coffee or when people come up to you and talk to you. So the actual sessions spark the kind of interesting bits, but it's that more informal stuff that I actually truly enjoy.
Well, I hope you have many interesting conversations today.
Thank you,
Tessa.
Thanks so much.